You're at the HP Barcelona site, which one's one of the biggest sites of HP outside of the US. So this site just we're doing our 40th anniversary. Okay, it started as a small manufacturing site for small deskjet printers and big plotters, and eventually it started to gain some traction and we moved to more and more groups. So today you're in an innovation site with around 3,000 HP employees in the site. It's a campus with two global businesses, large format global business and the headquarters for 3D, which we'll talk in more details, and then many functions for HP. So in this site, again, we're doing the 40th anniversary. We have more than 600 R&D engineers on the site and then supporting functions. And so it's one of the most important sites for HP in terms of innovation. Within this site, when we had, and I'll go a little bit on the history of the site, when we had the large format business, we were serving engineers that were needing, when they design a part in their computer, in their CAD design, they needed to basically print those plots just to check what they were designing. That was an important part of our business. When the 3D visualization tools started to come out, the need for printing for those people, those engineers, basically disappeared. So that was a whole segment of customers that we had that was an important one that basically washed away and we didn't have anymore. So what we realized, we kept tracking those customers, and then we realized that at some point of time they started to play with some 3D printing tools, because for them it was powerful to have a physical representation of what they were designing. And then we started to play with the idea of, should we gain those customers back, and do we have? So what we did at the time, the ones that we were managing the large format, we put a group of 4 or 5 engineers doing skank works on a basement, and it was literally a basement doing skank works. And then we tried to replicate whether the process of printing that we did in 2D, we could do it in a layer by layers and the layers would stick. And it was a group of brilliant engineers, and that's how the multi-jet fusion technology kind of started in 2012, 2013. So once we had line of sight to that technology kind of working, then we built a business plan, okay, for the company, for HP. At that time, HP was a big consumer company. We were selling a lot of consumer PCs that we still are. And the CEO at the time was basically expecting for us to come up with a consumer-ish type of printer that we could sell through a retail channel. Instead, we basically came out with a production type of business plan. And that got accepted in 2013. That was July 2013. I was part of that. I'm one of the founders of the business, of the 3D printing business. And then we've been basically, growing the business since then. And then, so that's the story of MJF, and that brings us to this building. So where are we at? We grew out of the buildings that we were, so we decided to basically build a state-of-the-art industrial building, and this is an industrial type of building. Actually, our engineers were involved in the design of the building. They designed the building that they wanted, and we can talk a little bit about some of the features. It was open in 2019. It's a 15,000 square feet building, so it's like 3 football fields. It's probably the biggest innovation building on 3D printing that you can find of the world amongst any. It's probably the biggest. So we have around 300 to 400 engineers in the building that are designing the next generation, the next innovation of 3D printing. And I'll give you some stats a little bit on the building. One is because we built it recently, we wanted to make sure it had the highest environmental standards. So we have a gold LEED certification. That means that we reuse, rainwater for toilets, etc. It's all the roof and all the canopies are solar panels, and we use that solar panels to basically feed our printers. So it's a highly reusable. You'll see as you go, through the building, and if you turn around the camera, not to do it now, but if you were to turn around the camera, you'll see walls with green plants, and anyway, so it's a lot of natural light. When we had the blackout, last Monday that we had the blackout in Spain for electricity, we still could work Well, you had battery in your computer, you still could work because we had good light. And then another couple of features on this building. One is, as you see here in the Infinity view, it's what we call a carpet to lab. So on the left, on your left, you have the engineers that are basically designing what are the experiments that you need to run for the new innovation. And then you see a row of technicians that basically take those experiments and implement those experiments. And then you see the labs on your far right, that's where the experiments happen. They get printing, and then the results and the learnings, walk back the same way. Okay, so that's one feature that I thought is cool. That was part of the design of the engineers. The engineers' cubes are designed kind of in cubes of 8 with an aisle in the middle. That helps basically very collaborative environment. They are organized either by disciplines, like mechanical writing systems, electrical, etc., or by projects. So that creates like a very dynamic environment and very fast-moving innovation. And then, that's the way they design it to be more efficient. And then maybe the last but not least, through the side, we name the rooms sometimes after countries, after streets, after cities of Spain. When we opened this building, we wanted to honor the innovation of women inventors. So all the rooms, basically here in my back, are named after women inventors. Okay, that they did, they helped advance humanity in technology in one way or the other.